Hey everybody, if you're watching this video, it's because you're on my email list and I wanted to send you a recording so you know exactly what I'm trying to do with my coaching program and my course. And that's teach you how to live beyond the job. The fire department does a great job of teaching us how to fight fire and run medical calls, but a terrible job of teaching us how to live as firefighters. And that's because frankly, they don't know. I was a firefighter for 7 years and got very, very sick by doing everything I thought was the right thing to do outside the job, which included working out 2 times a day, pushing myself to the limit, but that ended up burning me out. I was super fit, but super unhealthy, and I did not know what to do. There was no roadmap for being a firefighter, so I had to build it over the last 10 years by learning how to heal myself. So what this is a culmination of 10 years of learning about holistic health, from how to assess myself, how to optimize my hormones, how to recover, how to downregulate my nervous system, how to train the right way, how to eat the right way, how to fix my sleep. And it took me years to do this, but I'm going to be able to teach you this in 8 weeks. So I wanted to give you a quick intro into what that actually looked like. So we know most firefighters are not breaking down from fighting fire. It's from the job. Most firefighters are breaking down from sleepless nights, hormone crashes, constant stress, and emotional burnout. You're expected to be this perfect warrior who serves for 20 to 30 years, but what nobody understands is that you are fighting invisible opponents, sleep deprivation, toxic exposure to chemicals, and traumatic incidents. And you're supposed to just continue to do that for your whole career without any problems. But fact of the matter is, you're a human being, and biology, when sleep deprived, crashes. Hormones crash. This leads to mental illness, PTSD, cancer, heart disease, and a general crappy quality of life after about 5 to 10 years as a firefighter, depending on what kind of station you're in. So what we have to do is mitigate that damage outside the fire department with certain behavioral modifications. And that starts with the mindset. That starts with understanding that you are not a normal person, that you have to do things when you're off shift according to data. That's why we assess our blood, we assess our saliva, and we assess our daily stress levels, which guide us into what we should be doing for the day, how to manage our stress. Because as first responders, you are under tons of stress. So we're going to learn how to manage that. We know that firefighters get heart disease 14 times more than the normal population. I developed heart disease in the form of premature ventricular contractions and panic attacks. My panic attacks were so bad that I would go to the fire station to get an EKG, but I wouldn't even go inside, and I would sit in my car and not know what to do. And I wouldn't tell my wife. I would sneak out of bed, and I was in this purgatory where I was building up anxiety, leading to depression, and eventually suicidal thoughts. And guess what? Suicide, not fire, is the #1 cause of firefighter death. And 86% of firefighters report bad sleep quality. And like I said, this is not about weakness. This is about your biology not being able to withstand the sleep deprivation. And most departments don't have tools for this. So this is why I built this program. Why do most programs fail? You see all these programs online where guys are telling you, if you don't stay in shape, you're a liability for your crew. And while that is true, it's also true that if you push too hard when your stress levels are too high, you're also a liability for your crew and your family and yourself. So it's not all about pushing hard like all these programs tell you to do or eating right. If it was all about that, we wouldn't have these problems. What it's about is eating right when your metabolism is good. If your metabolism is bad because of sleep deprivation and trauma, then you're not going to be able to metabolize food the right way. And eating right isn't going to do anything for you. On top of that, your sleep is going to be messed up. If your sleep is messed up, your metabolism is messed up. If you're in stress, if you're super stressed out, your sleep is messed up, your metabolism is messed up, and you're not going to feel like working out. So programs don't account for your shift work. They don't account for trauma. They don't account for what happens to the body when hormones begin to dysfunction and when the nervous system is overloaded. I had bad hormones, nervous system overload, and I was generally working out as hard as I could. All of those things led to me burning out within 7 years. It only took me 7 years to burn out. And I think it's because I was working out so hard so often, which actually was a blessing because it taught me in 7 years what it takes a lot of guys to figure out in 10 or 15 years when it's hard to reverse that. So what we're going to do is figure out what we need to do on a daily basis in order to reverse the effects of being a firefighter. So what is it that we do differently at Holistic First Responders? Well, first of all, we start with the mind because mindset is everything. If you don't have the right information, you can't make the right decisions. One of the guys I work with told me that he never makes the right decision, but when I gave him a decision that had information that was obvious to make the right decision and bad information, he always made the right decision. He just didn't know how to make the right decision. So that's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to look at your data, how to look at what happened to you that day or that night, and how to make the right decisions. And how are we going to do that? One, I'm going to give you information in the form of a course, kind of like this, where I break down things in more depth so that you have all that knowledge. But I'm also going to teach you how to implement that knowledge because that's where the rubber meets the road. That's through live coaching, 3 days a week. Why 3 days? Because A shift might not be able to see it, B shift, C shift, etc. So there's always going to be a call around your shift, and it's going to be at different hours in case you're on the West Coast or you're overseas. This way, you always have an opportunity to get some coaching from me and my staff. On top of that, these calls are going to be recorded, so it's going to be super easy for you to watch them after and then get any information you might have missed. We're also going to do personalized testing when it comes to your hormones. You can do this through our doctor, which we will order the labs for you, and he will consult with you for free, saving you $300 because that's usually what he charges people. Or you can do them with your own doctor, depending on how inexpensive it is for you. The best thing you can do is get it done the cheapest way possible because we're going to help you with that information. You get the information and we're going to teach you how to implement that information. We're also going to give you tools. I'm going to give you specific exercises to lower stress, downregulate your nervous system, improve your sleep, improve your workouts, and improve your metabolism. I'm going to teach you how to train for being a first responder. What you're going to learn in these 8 weeks, you're going to learn how to regulate your nervous system. You're going to learn how to optimize your hormones and increase your energy. Sleep deeper, especially off shift. I know I had a lot of trouble after a couple of years sleeping good, even when I wasn't at work. So I'm going to give you strategies to reset your circadian rhythm and improve your sleep outside the job. We can't control what goes on when we're at work when it comes to our call volume and our training, but we can control our behaviors depending on if we want to lower stress or if we want to work out hard off shift. It all depends on our data. And we're going to teach you how to train smarter, what I just said, using data, not harder. We are going to train hard, especially if the data says so, but we're not going to train in a way that destroys your body. And we're going to eat to support inflammation because sleep deprivation and being exposed to toxic chemicals leads to inflammation, which leads to disease. So we're going to eat in a way where we lower inflammation as much as possible. So I built this course because I didn't have this course. I retired 13 years ago, and over the last 10 to 12 years, I've been rebuilding myself. Over the last 10 years, I've really been diving into holistic health because it's not one thing that's going to save you. It needs to be a holistic lifestyle shift from the mind, body, and the spirit. And then when all of those things are aligned and you're making the right decisions, you're going to start to see returns that last for years. And it took me 10 years to figure all this stuff out, and I'm going to teach you it in 8 weeks. So what happens next? I'm starting the coaching program on June 2nd, and that's also when I'm releasing the course. I'm not going to release everything at once because that would be like drinking water from a fire hose, no pun intended. I'm going to drip it out so that you can take the information weekly, do the exercises that I give you, the homework that I give you, which is going to teach you how to implement these things into your life step by step and stack these habits one at a time. Now you're going to look at the price and you're going to be like, wow, that's expensive. But honestly, it's nothing. It's $55 a week to be in this coaching program. And we all spend $55 a week on some bullshit. Raise your hand if you spend $55 a week on some bullshit. Yeah, that's me too. So invest this money in yourself and you'll see a return for life. This can literally save you hundreds of thousands of dollars by keeping you healthy long enough that you can hit 30 years in your career or 25 years in your career, because those last couple years is where all the money's made. So if you're burnt out and beat up and feel like shit in those last couple years and you have to leave early, or you get injured, or you go on light duty, you're not going to be able to maximize your retirement. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to live a healthy life now and maximize our life down the line. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and it gives you a little bit more confidence in investing in yourself and being a part of this program. And I look forward to seeing you June 2nd on the call.